Shut up and sit down.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and this is Lindy Stitches, where I talk about cross stitch. It's looking really dark and gloomy in my room right now. It's early in the morning. There's better lighting ahead, I promise. I woke up this morning with that wonderful pre-cold feeling in the back of my head and in my throat, and I just thought, I better get on the ball before the stuff that's brewing starts happening. Today I'm going to show you my Picture This Plus fabric collection. Yay! I've been working on this video for quite some time. It has been a massive amount of work, but it's finally ready. I asked you if you wanted this a couple months ago, and I'm gonna say about 200 of you said yes, so I'm more than happy to show you what I have and to share with you some of my favorite colors from Picture This Plus. Now, before you get to see the whole spread of colors, I need to go into some introductions and caveats that are important, so bear with me. The first thing I want to tell you is that I did not purchase all of these fabrics using my own money. So if that matters to you, look for another fabric collection video. I would guess that I've purchased 60%, maybe 70% of these fabrics for my own collection using my own money. The rest of them were acquired through Marilyn's gracious designer program. I also let her know I was doing this video, and she just sent me a few colors in the mail. So thank you, Marilyn. One of the reasons I have a good collection of Picture This Plus is because of Marilyn's generosity in working with designers. She is very easy to work with, and honestly, she's one of the reasons why I continue to go back to Picture This Plus, because she's friendly, she's prompt, and I really like working with her fabric. The second thing I need to warn you about is just about color, and I know that most of you realize this, but there's always a few people who don't. Different fabrics dye differently, okay? So for each fabric I'm going to show you, I'm going to let you know exactly what type of fabric it is and what count. Now, I am not a fabric dyer, and so I'm a little bit ignorant as far as how this goes. But all the fabrics I'm going to show you are linen. Now, I used to stitch mostly on even weave, but in the last few years I have just gone wholeheartedly into linen. One of the biggest reasons is just as a consumer and a stitcher and an online shopper, it is easier for me to buy linen. And quite frankly, I'm really liking how it looks better than even weave nowadays. So when you're shopping online, most often the color sample you're seeing in the store is the color on linen, and I just wanted better ordering consistency, and so all the fabrics you're going to see today are on linen. I can't speak to what these colors are going to look like on even weave. If you have questions, reach out to the dyer that you're working with. Order a smaller sample on 1-2-3 stitch. That's also a great tip that I have to give to you. One of the reasons I have so many colors and I've purchased so many colors with my own money is that often if I'm placing an order with an online store, I will just throw in a small, the smallest size that they sell of a color that's on my Picture This Plus wish list, just to add to my collection and have at least samples of more colors to work with. So yeah, if you don't want to shell out the whatever $30 that you need to get a fat quarter or a bigger piece, just go buy one of the smaller pieces from 1-2-3 Stitch. You'll use it eventually, and So that's what I have to say about that. Your screen or your monitor, especially if you have a blue light application on your TV or your phone or your iPad, obviously is going to change the warmth of your screen, and so you're not going to be seeing the video that I created. You're going to be seeing a warmer version of all of the colors. And so if you want a you just have to be aware of that. If you're constantly changing the brightness of your screen, your colors are going to not look like what the original graphic maker or video maker created for you to see. So another thing to be aware of when you really want the best, stab at what this color really looks like in real life. I recorded this video using the best light I could, and that took some working. I finally went out to where I usually take pictures of my own products for my Etsy store and for my pattern, which is outside on my back porch. I have an overhang that creates shade. If you're into photography, you know that if you want the best, most natural lighting, you want natural sunlight, you also don't want direct sunlight. And so I waited for not a super bright day, but the sun was out. I went out under my natural shade and I got some good color. I thought it was, when I looked back at the video and compared it to my actual fabric, I thought it looked pretty good. Now you're going to see an overview of different color groups, and then I'm going to give you a close-up of each fabric. When I lay down I show it to you up at the camera, and then I lay it down on my whiteboard. When I lay it down on the whiteboard, that is the most accurate color I could give to you. It looks pretty darn good. So that's what I have to say about the video and how I created it. Do all of the fabrics come through in all of their vibrancy? There's a few that I thought were a little lacking, but I do talk about that in the narration over the video. Let's talk about Picture This Plus. Why do I have so many colors of Picture This Plus? I already alluded to that. Part of it is Marilyn's generosity and how great I think her business runs, how supportive she's been of me as a designer, but also I think their fabric is lovely to work with, and I've never been disappointed or frustrated ordering this color and getting a weird dye lot, or feeling like the modeling was way off. I've just been consistently pleased with her color selection and how the dye jobs come out. The fabric I get in the mail always floats my boat, and so I continue to go back to Picture This Plus, and that's why I have so many colors. Okay, so I said I have so many colors, and I felt like I had so many colors. I'm going to show you 38. So I have 38 colors in my collection. How many colors do you think Picture This Plus produces? Over 150. So yes, I'm a very blessed woman to have 38 color samples. I have room to grow. I'm hoping that somehow I can just build into this video in the future as my collection grows. We shall see. The last thing I would like to show you is, well, first of all, let me show you. This is the smallest size I can find that I can order. I get these off 123 Stitch. I'm not sure if other online shops sell such small pieces. It's an 8x12. It's definitely enough to make one or two smalls. So these are the little samples that I order to kind of build my color collection. These are for a piece of linen. These are about $6. So, and then I wanted to show you how I organize my fabric swatches. Now, some of the color swatches that you're going to see in the video are small. Not a ton of them, but some of my swatches are small, and that is because I've used the fabric. I wanted to show you how I organize just my own little color collection where I get down to a scrap. I'm probably not going to use it, but I keep my scraps because I might want to reorder that color of fabric, and I want to be able to see what it looks like in real life. So I just use a binder, and this is what I do. These are photo page protectors, and I just make a little tag letting me know what color it is, what manufacturer it is. So most of these are Picture This Plus. Some of them are some Witchelt that I've used. But you can see I always keep a little snippet of the fabric. Just because, like, I know I'm going to use Valor again. I don't necessarily want to go buy any right now, because maybe I'll chart with Valor and I want a different count, but I want to be able to remember exactly what tone the fabric is. And so this is my swatch book. I think it's really handy. You can make one of your own. I think that's it. The question I would like for you to answer for me in the comments after you've seen this video is, what color do I need in my collection that I didn't show you? Do you have a favorite color of Picture This Plus that I think I need too? If so, let me know. I hope that you enjoy this video. The reason I made this video is because I was helped by another stitcher who showed what she had purchased in real life. I fell in love with the color and went out and purchased it. It was shale, and I have charted with the color shale so often since then. It just, being able to see it in person, even on a video, even though it is not perfect, I think is better than looking at the little graphic that you find on the online shops. I don't know why, but it's just hard for our eyes to see. I feel like it's hard for our eyes to see swatches of color and to be able to picture what they look like in real life. They come across better in video. I hope that this is useful to you. Let me know if it was. And here's my collection. Let's get started, shall we? First group up is neutrals. I'm going to show you 11 different fabrics, starting with gingerbread. We are going to go darkest to lightest. Second is murky. I'm going to lay them all out so that you can see how they look compared to one another. The third is cyprium. Now, after this general overview of the group, I'm going to show you them up close and personal. Here's Velt. I'm also going to give you DMC equivalents. Number 5 is Ancient. Number 6 is Heroic. The next is Doubloon. Oaken, one of my favorites. Number 9 is Wren. Ten is Legacy. Now obviously some of these lean a little more green, some are a little more yellow. Okay, this one I only have scraps for. It is Sand, but I am going to show you a finish with sand coming up, so you'll be able to see a bigger piece of it. There's the neutral spread. Alright, we're going to break it down. I'm going to show you a close-up. I'm also going to tell you in the upper left-hand corner what count of linen it is, as well as the DMC equivalent. So this is gingerbread, the DMC equivalent is DMC 420. Next up is murky. This is a 32 count linen. You can see it's two distinct colors, so I picked out two DMCs for this. The taupe being 3032 and the blue 317. Cyprium, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. It's a 28 count linen. I picked out DMC 167, but you can see there's lots of shades in Cyprium, including a pinky tan. It's got a little bit of green in it. It is gorgeous. Number 4 is Velt. This is a 40 count linen, and it's kind of crazy. I haven't stitched on it yet. I picked out DMC 370, but this one does have a lot of modeling, has a lot of yellows and greens. Number 5 is Ancient. This one's a pretty calm neutral, but it has that those shots of blue in it. I picked out DMC 3782 for the background. Now you're going to see that for a couple of these neutrals, I picked out the same color, and that's just because DMC doesn't have enough neutrals, in my opinion. Picture This Plus has more neutrals. This is Heroic. It's a 32 count linen. It has shots of little tiny specks of pink and blue in it. I picked out DMC 612. Don't make fun of me for my really lazy numbering. 7 is Doubloon. This is a 36 count linen. This is DMC 3033. I think I have another color for DMC 3033. Again, Picture This Plus has more neutrals than DMC does. Doubloon is a pretty neutral fabric. If you're looking to get into some modeling, I would suggest it. This is Oaken. It's a 40 count linen. And I picked out DMC 612 for this one. And I have charted with Oaken, so I'm going to show you the projects that I used it. Most significantly being a recent release of mine, Emily's House. These are the Cats on Move scissor fobs that you get in the pattern. And here is Emily's House. So this is 36 count Oaken. You can see that it has distinct modeling, but it's not crazy. It's a really, really gorgeous fabric. Nice and warm. It's not so cool that it's going to desaturate your threads. Number 9 is Wren. This is a 32 count linen. And I picked out DMC 3782. On some of these I needed to use a piece of paper so you couldn't see through the color. It's kind of the color of my skin. What a weird comparison. Number 10 is Legacy. This is a 36 count. And I picked out, once again, DMC 613. This one is also pretty mild. It's got a little bit of modeling, but it's nothing crazy. I think you could pretty much put anything on this fabric. Next up is Sand. I love Sand. It is a nice, light, warm brown. Nothing crazy. Unfortunately, I only have scraps because I used it in a recent release. It's DMC 842. I'm definitely going to be ordering more. I love this color. I used it in Ghoulfriends. You can see that, I mean, I think no matter what color you put on this, it would pop. That's Ghoulfriends giving you a kiss, by the way. Here's a part but in my heart. The companion piece to Ghoulfriends. Love it. Sand is a lovely color. Second group is greens. I have 8 to show you, and they range from really dark, like woodland. This is a super dark Christmas green. Next up is Lagoon. I love this fabric. It's really gorgeous. It's a dark, dark teal. Really pretty. Number 3 is Mint. I've stitched so much stuff on Mint. This is one of my favorite colors. Number 4 is Heritage. More on the yellow side, this is Regency. Gotta get that cat hair off of there. Number 6 is Valor. Only have scraps of this one, but I do have a finish to show you. Valor is a really gorgeous green. Number 7 is Sterling. I have scraps for a lot of this group, I'm sorry, but I'm going to show you finishes to make up for my tiny fabric scraps. Number 8 is Serene. Ready? First up we have Woodland. This is a 32 count linen. Would be really gorgeous for a Christmas piece with some light floss. I paired with it DMC 319. Next up is Lagoon. This is a 36 count linen. It is gorgeous. It is a dark, dark teal. I paired with it DMC 3847. Look at that modeling. There's a little bit of brown in there. Really pretty. Number 3 is one of my favorite colors from Picture This Plus. This is Mint. You can see the difference in the counts here. The lighter is a 32 count linen. The darker is a 28 count. Mint is a great light aqua green. I paired with it DMC 503. And like I said, I have put a lot of different things on here. This is Stars Bright. I just think mint looks great with a nice bright palette put on it. It's just such a cheery color. Really gorgeous. Next up is Heritage. This is a 32 count linen, DMC 523. Heritage is a yellowy green. It's light, nothing crazy. You can see DMC 523 is a little bit more green than the fabric. The best I could do. Next up is Regency. Regency is a little more yellow than Heritage, and it's also lighter. So if you're looking to get into just a nice neutrally green for a sampler or something, I put with this DMC 3024. Next up is Valor. I'm definitely charting with Valor again, but all I have left is scraps. I put DMC 523 with this one. Valor is a great gray green. Number 7 is Sterling. This is a 32 count linen. It's definitely more on the blue side. It kind of reminds me of the color of money, only desaturated. Not the best at describing colors. Here's a stitch for Sweet Freedom. I stitched this on Sterling. Sterling is just a really lovely color. Here's Serene. You can barely see it because I just have a scrap left, but I'm going to show you a project. This is a 32 count linen, DMC 928. I used Sterling in Cut Your Thistles. This was in the summer edition of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. Just a really beautiful light green. One guess what my least favorite color group is, especially when you consider Marilyn sent me both of these. This is Prank. It is a lovely vibrant orange, a 36 count linen, DMC 922. And next up is Moon Glow, and this is it's not overly bright, but it's definitely yellow. It's a 28 count linen, and it's paired with DMC 744. Not a huge orange or yellow base fabric person. Didn't have my 744, it's out with a model stitcher. Next up is pink and purple. I'm going to show you 6 different fabrics. First up is one I definitely want to chart with soon. This is Glory. It is a gorgeous orange, pink, mauve. I love it. Number 2 is Earthen. A lot of people consider Earthen a neutral fabric. I think it's a pink. Number 3 is Shale. I have charted with this and stitched on it more times than I can count. Next up is Quartz. This one is a purple, but it has a little bit of pink in it. Number 5 is Bramble. Six is Arbor. Arbor is a light pink, but it has these dark shocks of green in it. Would be great for like a garden scene memorabilia. Alright, you get a close-up of Glory. You can see why I want to chart with this. It's got peach, pink. I just think it's really pretty. Love it. I don't have my DMC 3778. Next up is Earthen. Earthen is a really dusky pink, and it's not very saturated. It's a 32 count linen, and I paired it with DMC 407, which is kind of darker, but you get the idea. Really hard to get exact DMC matches sometimes. Next up is Shale. I love Shale because it's a gray, taupey, purple that doesn't always look purple, and depending on what floss you stitch on it. DMC 452. I stitched on Shale of the many things I've stitched on there. The No Notion pincushion, that was a freebie, and Ride Forth Singing. I just think a wide variety of colors look good on Shale. It's just lovely. Hard to photograph though, because it's a unique tone. Number 4 is Quartz. This one's definitely lighter than Shale. It's a 36 count linen. It's more pink as well. It's a pretty fabric. DMC 818. Next up is Bramble. Bramble is the same tone that Shale is, it's just less saturated. So it's like the younger sister. Not intimidating in the least. I think you should order some. It's a 32 count linen, and I paired with it DMC 453. This is Arbor. A really light pink. The modeling is dark green, and so this one would be, you know, a little riskier to order. You don't know where the modeling is going to be, but still fun. I paired with it one of the DMC new releases, number 24. Here's the blue group. It's my favorite. I have 11. The darkest is Echo. This would be good for chalkboard type stitches. You're seeing a Nashville 2020 preview there. Number 2 is Calypso. Holy cow, can we say? Teal blue. You could see that in the dark. Number 3 is Nocturne. This is a dark denim color. It's got really lovely modeling. 4 is Tarnish. The same tone as Nocturne, but it is more green. Love it. 5 is Alchemy. This one's more of a sky blue, medium saturation. 6 is Arctic. I've charted with Arctic a few times. It's got shots of green in it. 7 is Feldspar. This color came out in 2018. Really lovely sampler color. 8 is Jazz, a periwinkle blue with purple modeling. I will show you a finish on Jazz. Number 9 is Ariel. A sky blue. 10 is Pewter. This is a really lovely light gray blue. And 11 is a new color from this year, Demoiselle. Is that how you say that? I don't know. I'm not French. Took French in high school, but it was one of those blow-off classes. Got straight A's. Number 1 is Echo. This is a nice fabric to stitch on. I don't think it's particularly hard to see, but I was stitching on 32 count linen. I put with this DMC 317. It is a dark color that you could do a chalkboard stitch on. However, it's a blue. It's not a black. 2 is Calypso. I haven't put anything on this. Wow. 40 count linen, DMC 3845. That is electric blue if I ever saw one. Doesn't have a lot of modeling. I think the color in itself is shocking enough. Next up is Nocturne. This is a denim blue, 32 count linen, DMC 930. You know, everything looks good with jeans, so I'm thinking this would be a pretty safe fabric to order. Next up is Tarnish. As soon as I got this in the mail, I wanted to chart with it because I just love the tone of this. This is a 32 count DMC 3768. It has green, you know, it's a blue, but it's tarnish, so it's got green in it. I just think it's lovely. I'm going to show you what I stitched on it. One of my favorite releases. I forget the rest. You can see that fall colors in particular I think look good on tarnish. Nice rusty oranges, whites, yellows, gorgeous, cute, the end. Number 5 is Alchemy. This is a 28 count linen. It reminds me of Nocturne, it's just not as saturated. DMC 160. Six is Arctic. I love Arctic. I've charted with it a couple times. The green modeling really isn't coming through too well on the camera, but it is there. It's not obnoxious. It's not like Arbor was. It's just, you know, little hints here and there. You can see it better on the whiteboard. DMC 3752. And I put a mother's heart on Arctic. The piece I stitched on didn't have as much green as the piece that I just laid down, but it's an unintimidating blue to work with, and it's interesting. I like it. I also stitched 3 snows on this one. This was in the spring edition 2019 Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. Yay! 7 is Feldspar. I love Feldspar. It looks old. It's a gray blue, but it has light brown modeling to it. Looks like it's been sitting around for a couple centuries. I paired it with DMC 415. I love the 415, 16, 17, 14. I love those grays in DMC. It does tend to desaturate what you put on it, which is why it's a good sampler color. Mr. and Mrs. Delicious were stitched on Feldspar. I miss them. They're out flying around visiting LNS's. Wish they'd come home. Number 8 is Jazz. You know, if you have a peacock in your collection that you need to stitch, this is the fabric I think you should order. It's gorgeous. It has distinct, darker modeling, purple modeling, DMC 932. And you know what I stitched on this. The Peacock Keeper. You can see the modeling is not obnoxious once you stitch on it. It's just there in the background, making everything look good. Moving along. Number 9 is Ariel, a bright sky blue, 32 count linen. I paired with this DMC 157. Is pewter. It is a lovely, lovely light gray blue. This is a 32 count linen. I also have a 40 count in my collection. They look almost identical. This is DMC 762. Last up is Demoiselle. This is one I think the camera could have done a little more contrast, but you can see it when I lay down with the whiteboard. It has pink and yellow patches in it. It's a very interesting color. DMC 775. And that is it, people. I just wanted to show you the mess that I created making this video. Leave me a comment. What color was not in this video that should be next time I upload? Look, thank you so much for watching this. I hope it was useful to you. I will see you in my next update. Until then, be well, do good work, and keep in touch. You can catch me at lindystitches.com. Bye, friends.